What is going on, everybody? What's going on? This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley. I appreciate everybody being in here. I have got some kind of cold. I don't know what it is. I apologize, but we're going to make it through. We are going to make it through today. So I appreciate you guys being in here. Thank you for showing up as always. Got some things to talk about. Look, Pittsburgh Steelers. Recap training camp, recap of week 2 of camp. We'll discuss that today. Next up, obviously, Omar Khan. I think it's okay to say that Omar Khan is to blame for the situation at wide receiver 2. I think we got to start talking about that. And then last but not least, Steelers reached out to Scary Terry McLaurin. Um, you know, as far as a possible trade, I've said it already. Not sure that it's going to happen. Don't think that it's going to happen, but we'll discuss all of it. We'll discuss that and more. So appreciate you guys, man. Thank you very much for being in here. Members are starting to show up. What's going on, my man S. Palmer, my man Howard, and Torsia? What is going on? Appreciate you guys. My man Vaughn, what is up, man? What is going on? So appreciate you being in here. I know you're only here for a little bit, but we appreciate you. Again, I am fighting something. I don't even know what it is. I don't feel bad, but I got this crazy, I'm just coughing up stuff. So I got cough drops in. I apologize, but we're going to make it through. We are going to make it through. So again, super chat's wide open if you want to help support the channel that way. You can. Also, memberships are also available. But more importantly, let's talk some Steelers football, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk. So, recap of week 2 in Steelers training camp. It's pretty much the same thing as week 1. I mean, literally, there is, in my eyes, there's no difference other than more injuries. More injuries have happened, but Lord have mercy. The defense, I think the defense was more dominant this week than they were the previous week. The defense is literally just taking control of training camp. Now, again, as we mentioned several times, that's a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because, hey, they're a high-priced defense. They need to be this good, okay? They need to be this dominant. But it's also a bad thing because when's the offense going to have a day? Like, when are we going to say, man, the offense just dominated the defense? Now, maybe that's not possible because of how good the defense actually is. So maybe it isn't possible. I don't know. But the one thing that I do know, we got to start seeing some better days, man. We got to start seeing some better days. Is that the offense has to start coming together. Now, again, we're going to talk about some reasons why, but that's kind of what I got out of training camp this week is the defense is even more dominant and we got a little bit more injuries, which it's football. You're going to have injuries. It's just part of it. And also some things that I heard, like Joey Porter Jr. sitting out. If this was regular season, he would be playing. Calvin Austin III sitting out. If this was the regular season, he would have been playing. So those are just some things to keep in mind when we're talking about these injuries, that some of these guys, if this were the regular season, they would have been out there. But it isn't. I mean, today's the 4th of August. I mean, we've got plenty of time. It's basically 5 weeks until we play a football game. So we have plenty of time to rest guys, let those nagging injuries get healed up as much as possible. Continue to get work, get younger guys work or fringe roster guys work. So it is what it is. Now, the one that hurts is the Highsmith injury. And we haven't really heard anything about that. They haven't come out. Now, again, they don't have to at this point in time. They don't have to tell you the severity of it. They don't even have to necessarily tell you what's injured. But they haven't said anything as of yet. The only thing I would say about that, yes, digital, that's right. Highsmith injury is a little concerning. The only thing that I could say is, I don't know, is that if they're not saying anything, because they know what it is by now. I mean, they've had an MRI, they know what it is. I don't know. Maybe if you don't have to say anything, you just don't say anything, which I can agree with that. I can go along with that. If you don't have to say something, then don't say something. You know, um, we got Torsia trying to donate hamstrings. So, uh, and that's right, Howard. They didn't disclose what Broderick's injury was either. So, and Broderick was back in a couple of days. So who knows about Highsmith? Like I said, if you don't know, which I know what it is. I think they pretty much said it was a groin, but they didn't talk about the severity of it. There's no chance that the Steelers don't know what the severity of it is at this point in time. Zero chance. They know, but again, they don't have to say. It's not the regular season. There's no injury report at this point in time. So they don't have to go out, you know, um, they just don't have to do that. They don't have to do that at this point in time. So Kingston said him and CA3 are trade candidates, I think. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. We mentioned them the other day. And maybe that's what Omar Khan has up his sleeve, is to trade somebody, maybe trade them for a big play wide receiver. Who knows? Or another wide receiver. I'm not sure. That's what Jordan is saying. Jordan is saying they're prepping for a trade, Big B, trying to keep him ready. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to trade to the Commanders. I don't think that's in the cards. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. We'll talk about that because we got some word on that Scary Terry trade, but I don't think that's in the cards for the Steelers. But that's kind of where we're at with training camp right now. Defense is just blowing them up. So offense just kind of putting along right now. Sooner or later, they got to get it moving in the right direction. So Capricorn Steel, what's going on, man? He said he missed time with the growing last season. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So hopefully it's not anything too serious. That's all I'm hoping for. I hope that it's not anything too serious. But we'll see. But offense got to start coming around. We got to start hearing days about the offense looking good. It can't just continuously be that it's all defense, all defense, all defense. Sooner or later, the offense has to come around and have some days. Start stacking some days. I'm not saying they have to be as dominant as the defense has been. I'm not saying that at all. But I think they've got to start having some days. You know what I mean? Excuse me while I pop this other cough drop. And again, I apologize, people. I've got something, I don't know. It's sore throat. It's not really a sore throat as of yet, but we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't get to that. So my man Zach says we need to keep teams under 21 points. I think we need to do that regardless of how good our offense is. I don't care if we have the best offense known to mankind. With the amount of money we're paying our defense, you're damn right we need to keep people under 21 points. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, absolutely. So, Glenzo, we will get it together. Watch, Big B. I hope so. I hope they get it together. So, I hope they get it together. But we'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. So, my man Capricorn says the best defense in the world sits on the bench while their offense cooks. You're exactly right. So hopefully the offense can get this thing turned around. My man Jordan with the super chat. Can we talk about how annoying Go is now? I don't know who Go is, unless you're talking about GP. But if you are, the answer is no. The answer is no. I don't want to talk about him. So, 2 shutouts from Yancey. I got you. Yeah. I'll take it. The Steelers got to do something, though. They got to do something, but it's still early in camp. Haven't even played a preseason game just yet. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens, man. But here's something that I would like to talk about. I think it's time, and I think it's fine to start blaming Omar Khan why we don't have a wide receiver too. I think it's okay to say that. I understand that he wanted to give, a draft pick from last year an opportunity to figure it out, but we could have drafted a wide receiver. We didn't do that. We could have signed one in free agency other than what the trade that we had. We didn't do that. There were some opportunities out here for the Steelers to try to fix their problem, and we didn't do that. We just didn't do that. So, but that's the difference there. Jordan, okay. We're not even going to put that super chat up there. Appreciate the support in the channel, but we're not doing stupid stuff, my man. We're just not doing stupid stuff. So, yeah, we're not doing dumb stuff, brother. We're trying to talk some football here. If you don't want to do that tonight, I appreciate you. Maybe come back a different night. But we'll see. But Omar Khan, I think, is a guy that has to start taking blame for the lack of a second wide receiver. I think it's okay to say that he's done a lot of good things to rebuild the roster because he has. But as far as a wide, there's no reason the Steelers don't have one. There's just no reason. There's literally no reason at this point. Not in my opinion. There's no reason that they don't have one. So I think we got to figure out a way on why and what we're doing. Because, look, Roman Wilson's just not the guy. At least he hasn't been so far in camp. The guy can't get open. Now, you might say that's because he's going up against some big-time football players. I understand that, but you can't get open like ever? So, I don't know. It is what it is. My man Darian says, I appreciate this kind of outsider content when you try to get filled in straight from the Pittsburgh Steelers YouTube page. They make it sound like it's all sunshine and roses. So thank you for your work. No, we appreciate you, Darren. The one thing that we do here, and a lot of people will tell you, we just call it straight. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. We're not going to sugarcoat anything. We just tell it like it is. We don't always agree, and we don't have to always agree. But what we're never going to do is lie. We don't lie. So, just not going to lie. My man Capricorn Steel with the super chat. Appreciate you as always, my man, supporting the channel. Says, I think they can still get Olave or Hill. What do you think, B? Money's not the issue. Well, I mean, early on, we were talking about Chris Olave. Right around the draft, after the draft, we were talking about Chris Olave. And I'm still not out on the Chris Olave sweepstakes because I said this. Although he's injury prone, and he is, concussions are a real thing, man. And it seems like when you get one, you get another and another and another, and he has. But if he can stay healthy, Chris Olave is really, really good. And while we keep talking about, we need wide receiver too, I don't know that Chris Olave is a second wide receiver. I think he's better than that. For instance, on the New Orleans Saints, he's their number one receiver. So if he were to come to Pittsburgh, yeah. I mean, he's really good. He's really good. Injury prone, but good. So we'll see. Is it still in the cards? Who knows? I still think they got to call somebody. Look, it looks like Christian Watkins is going to be back in Green Bay by the middle of October. Right now they got 6 receivers. I mean, and then you count Nicole Hardman, who I think is going to be their punt return guy. That's 7. You include him, that's 8. They're just not going to keep that many. That somebody in Green Bay is either going to get traded or cut. Now, maybe they're waiting until the end of training camp, which if I'm the Packers, that's smart because you don't need to trade anybody right now. You don't need to do that. You can wait till the end of training camp and then say, okay, this is our team. We're going to trade this guy, but you don't need to trade him right now because if somebody gets hurt, you're going to need that guy. So patience it needs to be the key for me, for you, for Omar Khan. But that still doesn't mean you can't blame Khan for what's going on. It doesn't mean that. So it's hopefully he figures it out, and because we can't keep waiting for our man to get Roman Wilson, and we just can't keep waiting for that. We just can't keep waiting for that. So Digital says Khan loves trading wide receivers. Traded away 3, traded for 2, still no wide receiver 2. Exactly. And that's exactly my point. You know, he likes to move wide receivers here, move wide receiver there, move guys around, but we still don't have somebody. That, to me, that's a problem. That's just a problem. So, Big G in here talking about let's go Bucks. He's an Ohio State fan. And he would love if Chris Olave came. All these damn Ohio State Buckeyes that would be on the team. Disgusting. Disgusting. So, Bernard Nixon, thank you for the super chat, man. Says, do you think Rodgers and Smith will fit? I think so. I think Arthur Smith is going to adapt a lot of the stuff that he does to tailor to some things that Aaron Rodgers likes to do. And frankly, it makes sense to do that. I mean, if he's not going to do that, what's he doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point if you're not going to adapt. If you're not going to adapt, I don't think there's a point to any of this stuff. So, but we'll see. We'll see. My man Capricorn said, or the Saints can tank for a QB next year. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Because I don't think there's any shot that the Saints really believe that Tyler Shuck is going to be their quarterback of the future. At least I don't think so. I mean, they took him awful high, but I don't think they believe that. Who knows? Who knows? So Big G says we need what they call the Indianapolis Colts. We need one of their dudes after the second preseason game. Again, I don't think anybody's getting rid of anybody after their second preseason game. They're going to wait because, again, until you have to get rid of somebody, you're not going to get rid of somebody. You know, until you have to. Not this time of year. It just doesn't make sense. You trade somebody after the second preseason game. 2 days later in practice, somebody goes out for the year. Oh, but you've already traded somebody. They're not going to do that. They'll wait until the very last moment. And then when that comes, then expect the trade market and the cut market, all that stuff to start heating up. They just won't do it before that. And they shouldn't. Just like the Steelers. The Steelers aren't just going to release a whole bunch of guys before they have to. They're not going to do that. You know. Yeah, they're not going to do that. So, my man Justin Watson said, man, just tune in. And Big B is speaking my language. Khan's management of this room has been confusing, to be kind. Confusing is a good word, Justin Watson. Confusing is a good word. Look, we can take this thing all the way back to the GP trade. I understand why they did it. Because they were not going to sign him to a long-term deal. The Steelers weren't going to do that. They were done with it. Okay. They told us, or you heard, that they reached out before the draft. But I'm not even really concerned with whether they reached out before the draft or not. I still thought they should have taken a wide receiver in the draft. But they didn't do that. I thought they should have done it. They didn't. Well, okay. And then you trade Pickens, okay, but then you didn't replace him. Like, you brought in DK, you had Pickens on the roster. We're thinking, man, this is going to be a crazy duo. And then you get rid of Pickens. And again, I'm not mad that they got rid of Pickens. I'm not. I I didn't like it, but I understood why they did it. Okay, I understood. And sometimes it's just about understanding. It's not about whether we like it or not. It's just about so. Oh, Mr. Leonard Dodd said Dodd celebrating 6 months as a member. People, we appreciate you, Mr. Dodd. Thank you, Leonard. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. But yeah, sometimes it's just about understanding. And so I understood. I didn't like it, but I understood. But here we are. And we're still waiting. We're still hoping. We're still wishing. We're still praying. And we don't have it. And I agree with giving Roman Wilson the shot. I 100% agree with that. But it's not working. Yeah, up to this point, it's not working. We got to do something different. Look, I know Amari Cooper is retired. Call him. Say, hey, man, are you 100% retired? How about $4 million? Can you play for $4 million? Do you have anything left for $4 million? Just call him. Who knows? Who the hell knows? So I'd give him because we got to figure out something. We can't just, well, I say we can't. I mean, we did it last year. We go into the situation the same way. I understand we want to run a lot of tight end sets, and that's fine. But damn it, give me somebody on the other side of DK that can just go get open and catch a ball. You know, just give me that. And I mean, are we trying to say that Calvin Austin III is that guy? I don't know. Again, I know Calvin Austin has a place on the Steelers. I'm just not convinced that flanker is that position. Just not convinced of that. I can be convinced if he can go do it, but I haven't been convinced. He's a slot guy. He's best to just stay in the slot. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. So we just got to figure some stuff out. We got to figure some stuff out. Moving on. Talking about the Scary Terry trade. Some people have brought it up. But first off, Mr. Dodd is super chat. Said offense will not be that great. It sucks. We use no motion. They'll use motion. Now, the one thing I will say, Aaron Rodgers isn't really a fan of motion. So that's going to have to be something he's just going to have to live with because you got to use motion. You got to use shifting. You got to use motion. You know, but he doesn't necessarily like that because he wants guys set and then he wants to be able to see what people are doing. You know, well, I'm sorry, but motion a lot of times helps you see what people are doing. It helps you. So we'll see. We'll see. Uh-huh. That would be my first thing. But Scary Terry, I, you know, I don't know that we're going to make that trade. Matter of fact, I know we're not. Scary Terry, they basically reached out to him. He wants to be paid like a number one receiver, and he wants to be the number one receiver on a football team. And he basically said, Pittsburgh's not it for me. Okay. So there it is. So we can trade him if we want, but he ain't going to sign. And that's what he wants is a new contract. He doesn't want to leave Washington. And I don't think Washington wants him to leave. They just want him to take a deal that's more conducive to them, which I get. But yeah, he's not leaving. Like, he doesn't want to leave Washington. He's not bad-mouthing him. It's not the same thing as what's going on in Dallas. What's going on in Dallas is crazy talk. It's craziness. The owner bashing the player bashing the owner. The owner's son is coming out bashing the player. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. That's not going on with McLaurin. He just wants a fair deal compared for what he wants. That's all. He don't want to leave Washington at all. And in the end, he's not going to leave Washington. They're not going to give her up. So Steelers got to move on from that. So, My man Capricorn with Super Chat again. We appreciate you. He said, Big B, I have confidence he won't make the same blunder twice. Gotta believe. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. I just don't want to go into the season the same way we did last year. And then the consolation prize is we go get Mike Williams. I can't have that on my heart. Can't have that on my heart. Can't have that on my soul. I just can't have it. Can't have it. We need to be better. We need to be better. So, my man Darren says, imagine the offense being so bad we have to rely on Aaron Rodgers' hard counts to draw defenses offside, to move the ball, maybe chuck the ball downfield. I mean, I get it. The offense isn't going to be great, but if we can just run it, and that's the whole thing. If the Steelers can just run the football, everything will be different. But they got to be able to do it. They got to be able to do it. So, Michelle says, did I hear right? Micah said he wanted to be a Steeler. What he said is that if he ever got back to Pittsburgh or to Pennsylvania, he would go and be a Steeler. Because I guess he grew up as a Steeler fan. So he didn't say that I want to be a Steeler. He just said if I ever came home, it would be to be a Steeler. That's what he said. So I've been on record that if the Pittsburgh Steelers wanted to make a trade and they traded Highsmith, Roman Wilson, and a 4th-round pick for Micah Parsons, or a second-round pick, Highsmith, Roman Wilson, and a second-round pick for Micah Parsons, I'd do that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. And I pay him. And I would pay him. Now, granted, the Steelers aren't going to have money to do that. I'm just telling you what I would do. That's what I would do. In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. But I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, Micah Parsons is not coming to Pittsburgh. Not coming to Pittsburgh. That's not. Cowboys aren't going to trade. You know how Jerry Jones is. He loves the drama. He loves the drama. He loves being in the limelight, and everybody's talking about the Cowboys. And at the last minute, he's going to end up giving Parsons $45 million a year. Take it to the bank, people. Take it to the bank. You're going to end up giving that man $45 million a year, and it's going to be a whole hell of a do about nothing. So, absolutely nothing. What's going on, Patrick? So, Brian said we'll get the 35-year-old Micah. Probably. Probably. You're probably right. So, Mark says, I got a feeling at this point the offense is going to be trash and Rodgers is going to be running for his life or possibly get injured. So, let me just ask this question. Was the quarterbacks, were they running for their life last year? Because I don't think they actually were. And the quarterback play was, I think, is going to be worse than Aaron Rodgers. So we gave up sacks, but I don't think quarterbacks were just constantly running for their life. So why do we think that now? And I'm not arguing. I'm just asking questions. Like, why do we think now they're going to be running for their life? Because I don't think they were running for their life last year. I don't think that was the case. Got sacked, but they weren't just, oh, man, this line, they can't protect. They can't do anything. So, if anything, quarterbacks were holding on to the damn ball too long. Not throwing to guys over the middle that were wide open. There was a lot of that last year. A lot of that last year. Yeah, Patrick, just got the ball out late. Exactly. So, yeah, look at the line. What am I looking at? I mean, it's the same line. It's the same line. So I don't know what we're talking about, Mark Tobin. Like I said, they weren't running around for their life last year. So why are they going to be running around for their life this year? Line is better. Faitanu a better right tackle than Broderick Jones. Now, you might say that Broderick's a worse left tackle. Okay. But everybody else, we expect Zach to be better. Siamala will be more healthy, we think. So, but that's all I'm saying. I don't know. And I get it. It's your feeling. But even if it's no different than last year, the Steelers quarterbacks weren't running around for their life last year. That just wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. So, a lot of throwing the ball late, not making the read. There was a lot of that. A lot of that. So, I just think the line is going to be better. I think they're going to be better. But again, that's just me hoping and praying. I don't know. I don't know. That is just me hoping and praying, man. I got to be a Steeler fan. That's all I can tell you. I got to be a Steeler fan. So, Capricorn says, O-line rated well last year in time to throw. I mean, the line was it was hit or miss because of how they're being taught. They were taught to they basically taught to quick set. So if you quick set somebody, either you immediately get them and they don't get off of you, great. Or you miss them and they're in the quarterback's face immediately. And that's coaching. I don't agree with that at all, but we'll see. We will see. So, my man, Mr. Dodd, there were plenty of guys open and they're getting patty the ball. Yeah, he just didn't throw the ball. Plenty of guys over the middle that were open we didn't see. So, DC, now that's a good point. Kevin Colbert might be the wide receiver guru that Omar isn't. That might be very true. I mean, we blame Kevin Colbert for a lot of things, but he drafted some pretty good wide receivers and late. And maybe that's the case. So maybe that is the case. I like that. Maybe that's the case. Oh, it's still early in Omar's tenure, but I think he's got to figure some stuff out. I think he's got to figure some stuff out. And again, I apologize for my voice and the cough drops. It just is what it is, people. It is what it is. Life. So make sure if you guys are in and you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. I'm probably not going to be on too much longer. I feel like I need to rest my vocal cords. So I apologize in advance. So give some mic credit on that, says self-made. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tomlin deserves credit. But if we're giving him Tomlin credit along with Kevin Colbert, we also have to give him blame like we're blaming Omar Khan. But I'm with you. Got to give him some credit too. So, Mr. Dodd, don't you think that Colbert, that found the talent at wide receiver, I think it was James Mitchell, wide receiver coach that passed away. I mean, that makes a difference. That makes a damn difference. That's a great point. So, that's a great point. But it is what it is. So, and the thing about it is, people, I see y'all in the chat. I don't even feel bad. You know, if you get a sore throat or something like that, that you feel bad, I don't even feel bad. It's like I'm feel just fine. I think it's maybe my vocal cords or something, but won't this, don't say nothing, but won't this give me an excuse not to say anything to my wife? Just tell her, hey, I can't talk. I can't. Or is that on the opposite end? Because if I can't talk, does that mean that all she does is talk? Ugh. And again, I love my wife, don't get me wrong, but if I can't say anything, does that just open it up for her to just constantly just yap, 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 yap? And then I'm just, oh my God. Maybe I just put the headphones in and go to bed. I don't know. Who knows? Or I could get some Thunderbird. I could just get some Thunderbird and just say, hey, man, This is what it is. So it is what it is. I know. I can't say that. I can't say that, man. I can't say that. You know, well, nodding, I get, and that's all I would do. She's gonna be talking, be just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. One thing though, fellas, and there's some of you out there more experienced than me at marriage. Your wife's talking, don't be on the phone. Just pay attention to her. Just look at her. Even if you don't give a damn about what she is saying, just act like you're paying attention, fellas. Don't be on your phone. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, but yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today, man. Um, Steelers got to figure some stuff out. Wide receiver, too. Got to figure it out. Training camp, defense has been dominant. Offense got to fight back. McLaurin, not sure he's going to be a Steeler. Matter of fact, I'm positive he's not going to be. So it is what it is. I'm going to go rest these vocal cords, man. So tomorrow, make sure you guys are there. Camp, 5 Eastern, 4 Central. Let you guys know what happened in practice tomorrow. So I appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon, and aloha.